time for illegal ham in the face. But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
Oh, Bry, we are kicking it back on Tuesdays. It feels good to be back on Tuesdays. What is going on, big fella?
Hey, man. Feeling good. Beautiful day out on a Tuesday. Trying to forget about Sunday. That's all I'm doing.
I've been trying to drink and forget that since Sunday, and it still hasn't happened yet.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. All right, so welcome on into Legal Ham to the Face. We are part of Network 216. Our show is sponsored and brought to you by Harold Keel and Lake Erie APA. Also, City Dogs Cleveland. Bacardi is still in that kennel, so he will be our trivia dog of the week this week. It is my turn to give Brian trivia tonight. But tonight on tonight's show, we are going to get into the Browns loss to the Giants. We're going to look ahead to the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to talk a little bit of guards. They clinched playoff berth. They clinched the division now. And hopefully we can lock up the number 2 bye. And then we're going to get into Fat Boy Tuesday again, Bri.
Yep.
If we're playing Las Vegas, we got to talk about the buffets, buddy. And then we're going to get into our top 3 underrated sitcoms. So join on in. We got the chats open up here. We got Barbecue with Neil. What is going on? Thank you for joining us
What's
tonight.
up, man?
All right. So here we go. Bri, you got any shout outs tonight, brother?
Believe it or not, I have 0. No shout outs.
Good, because I got a big one.
Good.
This Thursday, one of my best friends is turning the big 4-0. Happy birthday, big fella. I'm going to shout you out, buddy.
Right, I forgot. My goodness, couple days away. Jeez.
So, brother, happy birthday. Enjoy every minute of it. James says he's here, says hello. Once you enjoy your day, you only turn 40 once, Bri. Go out with a bang, buddy.
Seems like I was just talking with my mother-in-law like an hour ago. Seems like just yesterday I was turning 30, and that was a big deal. And what the heck, 10 years go like that.
It's amazing how quick it goes. Hey, just wait till that little one starts walking, and then it's really going to go crazy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the milestones for her are coming fast and furious. So got the first sickness. She had her first day at daycare on Friday. First sickness on Sunday.
Ain't that the fun stuff?
One day at daycare.
Hey, ibuprofen, no sucker, ibuprofen.
Yeah. baby Tylenol's been working, but yeah, no sucker for sure.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to do.
I know it's hard to do, buddy, but that thing is a lifesaver. Even when they start getting older, you can just stop them in mid-run and just squirt it out. Hold still.
So my mom, when she's texting, her nickname is Maddie, but my former dog, as you know, name was Maggie.
Yeah.
So I think autocorrects from Maddie to Maggie when my mom texts, and I'm starting to think why now, because she sounded like Maggie. She was a pug. Maggie was a pug. So Maddie is sounding like she's just all over the house. Like I'm starting to learn how to parent with my ears now. I just kind of, is she okay? I start listening. I'll hear her just kind of snorting away in the corner. She's fine.
Oh, that's great. That is great. I love every minute of it. Bryce, soak it up and enjoy it. Remember all of it, bud, because it's a blast.
Yep. It's a fun age for sure.
All right, well, let's get into our show. Let's start our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Here comes the sounder. Like I said, our trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. We always try to have an adoptable dog for you guys here for every trivia now Tuesday. And for the past, what is it now, 3 weeks, Bri? 3 weeks in a row we've had Bacardi on here.
Yep, unfortunately.
Look at that beautiful face. He is still in the kennel. He is still the longest resident. We have put it out on all of our social media. We are trying to get this dog adopted before we move on to a new pup. This dog needs to find his forever home. He is 2 pounds, around 51, or 2 pounds, 2 years old, around 51 pounds. Back that up, Bri. Let's reverb back.
Gotcha.
There we go.
I knew it.
Right. Just a bundle of joy. Please go adopt Bacardi if you can. And if you cannot adopt, please donate, volunteer, whatever you can do to help out City Dogs Cleveland. Bri, it is my turn for trivia.
Mm-hmm.
It is NFL trivia. It is Cleveland Browns trivia. You ready?
When you told me you have Browns trivia before the show, I said, I bet it's depressing. And you confirmed. So, all right, let me take a drink. Give me the bad news.
All right, Bri. In the year 2024, after 3 games, where in the NFL do your Cleveland Browns rank in yards per game?
Oh, for crying out loud. Do you want me to just go to the bottom of the barrel, or that's where I'm feeling now? So, all right, we'll save it. We'll save my official guess for later, but I'm guessing it's bleak.
Bri, I did not say that.
Well, I'm guessing. Nobody brings up if we're 27 or 29. People bring it up if we're dead last.
You'd be surprised.
All right. That's not my official guess, so maybe I'll change it. Maybe the Coors Lights will get me in a better mood by the end of the show.
In that case, you might want to drink like 6 of them. You might as well just
shotgun. I got 2, but they're tall. They're taller boys. So
all right, shotgun 1, so that we can get this party started right. All right,
ready? I'm ready.
All right, Bri. Well, that is your trivia this week, brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. And Bri, Chris is not here yet, but I got to bump the sounder because we love it. Before we get to the team that makes you want to pull your hair out and make a hard right turn on the 480 bridge, we will get into the team that everybody is happy about right now. And your Cleveland Guardians, Bri, have clinched the division. We are in the playoffs. Hopefully, we are a 1 game right now. Matter if we win, Houston loses. One of those things has to happen, and we will get the number 2 seed and a bye before the playoffs. We have 5 games left. So, Bri, should we just stop talking about the Browns and just go straight to Guardians for the rest of the year?
No. Sure would be a lot more fun, I would guess. So once Brown season starts, we all get or a lot of us get wrapped up in just what happens on the Browns and talking about it for the next week. So those of us who might be maybe forgetting about the Guardians a little bit, let's inform me if you could. So we got the Reds and the Astros left this year?
Yes. So we have 2 games with the Reds and then 3 games with the Astros.
And the games with the Astros might be irrelevant because what are the chances we get the 1 seed?
We would have to. So the chances of us having get the 1 seed, I believe we would have to go 5-0, and the Yankees have to go 2-4 in their last 6 games. So I don't think
3 games up on us.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance for us to get the 1 seed, but there is a chance for us to get the 2 seed. And honestly, Bri, I think that bye, everybody's kind of worried about it, but I think that bye is kind of much needed for this team. Get Quan healthy, get Quan back, get a couple other guys in the bullpen rested and ready to go. I know it sucks because they're just creatures of habit and they play every day, and you don't want to get that out of them. But I think this little mini break is kind of somewhat what they need.
So then there there would be a good chance that we would be playing the Astros in our first series, correct?
Correct.
Because they would be the 3 seed and we would be the 2 seed.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah,
So the way the
start having
brackets
that
look,
conversation. If what do we do this weekend then? I mean, you don't want to show your cards too much, I guess. I don't know. Maybe baseball's different than like basketball or
yeah,
football.
I think baseball is different because I mean you got to get the guys to hit,
Right.
and keep hitting. So like we're not going to pull Hosey out, Josh Naylor, all of our guys that are normally in the lineup are staying in the lineup. I think it's more of keeping an eye on the rotation, setting it up how you want to. Now,
Sure.
Andre was on this afternoon with the boys from 850. He was talking about what he would do. And I kind of agree with it. He was talking about having Bieber and then Boyd and possibly Cobb, and then making Gavin Williams that long stretch in between, or have him be the setup man for Classe and have him come out in the 7th, something of that nature. But you have, let's just say you have your kind of like what they did with Andrew Miller. You got your starters go out there for 4, 5, 6 innings, maybe. Andrew Miller comes in, pitches 2 to 3 innings, and then gives it up to your closer. That's what it kind of sounds like. Andre was talking about, and I agree. But the great thing is with this bullpen, Ben, Bry, it is the best in the national or pretty much all Major League Baseball, and it doesn't matter who you throw out there. So, I mean, I would you be okay, double dipping back playing the Astros again after you get a 3-game series and then have to maybe play them in the playoffs, or would you like to play a different team?
Right. I would prefer to play. I mean, the Astros, the Yankees, those are the 2 teams that scare me the most in the American League. Like I said, I'm not too much into the weeds with baseball coverage. So, I hear the Orioles. I know they're probably much better than they used to be, and they're very talented. But yeah, I'm not afraid of them. I'm not really afraid of anybody else in the American League, but just the talent for the Yankees. And like I brought up last week, Garrett Cole scares the hell out of me because he always seems to pitch gems against us. And then just the experience with the Astros, just being to what is it, 6 or 7 American League Championship Series in a row.
But it's not the same Astros that we remember back in 2016,
right.
17,
But they've
18.
still is it an active streak? Like it's still going on, right? They did it last year.
Yeah, but there's only like from those teams, there's only Altuve, Bregman, and like Verlander's a shell of himself. He's not even pitching right now. So it's not the same Astros team. Now they do have a couple young bats in there, but it's not like the Astros teams that we used to get pissed off about. When we were.
Well, yeah. Right, like to compare it to basketball, it's like the Warriors. Until you see somebody stop them from doing it in the playoffs, you're going to assume that they're going to keep doing it in the playoffs. And like the Warriors were down for a couple years once Durant left, and then they had some injury issues. Well, they popped right back up when they were healthy, and they won a championship. So, I'm still would prefer not to play them, but I understand it's the playoffs. You're going to play good teams, so you can't avoid everybody. But I mean, it'd be nice if we could. I don't know if it's mathematically possible to avoid both those teams. I guess probably it is, but not likely. So yeah, whatever. We'll root them on, and so they're done. If they get the first round bye, they're done on Sunday. When would the next series start? Like a week?
I believe that weekend.
So 5 days, 6 days, we might be off.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a week. So I think it's October 5th, but I'm not 100% sure how they got. Hold on, you keep asking questions to me while I search it up real quick. I don't want to speak out of turn.
Sure. Well, and it would depend on it could be the 5th, could be the 6th, could be the 7th. It probably just depends on when the first series ends. But do you know off the top of your head, is this first series or first division,
Okay.
first wild card, is that best of 5?
So here we go. So if they get the second round bye or the first round bye, Bri, they will be playing Saturday, October 5th. If they do not, they will be playing. So the playoffs start on October 1st. They play again on the 2nd, and they play again on the 3rd. And then it gets into the division series, and that's when it starts going Saturday. Was it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then they kind of switch back and forth. So if you do like a Saturday, it'd be a Monday game.
Right.
So there's like a day in between.
Yeah, that's fine. So the first round is best of 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And then second round, best of 7.
Best of, it looks like 5. Hold on.
5. Yeah, they keep changing it up. It's hard. It's hard to really stay in tune with all
the
this.
division series is the best of 5, and then
then best of 7.
Then the league championship is a 7, and then World Series is 7. So it's 3, 5, 7, 7.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you better be good. You can't afford when it's the best of 5 series. Even you can't afford to give a game away. So
no,
better be ready. Especially winning the home games will be huge.
Well, we'll see them here next week. So we got a whole week of baseball to finish up, and then we'll talk a little bit about the playoffs coming up, Bri, give our predictions about the playoffs. And then we'll go from there. But Bri, we got to talk about the dumpster fire that was definitely happening on Sunday.
I know.
Oh, there it is. I'll wait for you. That was a pretty good one. That you definitely.
I ain't as good as I once was. Half.
I remember times where you used to down that and then bust the can on your forehead like you were, But it's okay. You're turning 40, right? Things happen.
Dads can't do that anymore, right?
They can as long as it's not at a children's party. If it's at a children's party, they look at you funny.
I just throw them in my book bag. I go to the woods. Nobody will know, right?
God said it's still impressive, Bri.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
all right.
I think he's in his 20s. That counts as something, right?
Yeah, he's still in his young 20s too. So yeah,
right.
You would know. All right, Bri. So we lost to the New York Giants, and I still giggle when I say it. We lost the New York Giants. What was the final score? Was it 24-16?
21-15.
Okay. Well, you were close with the 19 fucking points again. Just let you know. But Bri, this game was the high of getting the first touchdown and looking like a team ready to just tear apart to ending up being like fat kids on ice and falling down and people not blocking, Jed Wills, people getting hurt, pretty much our entire offensive line. The only person that really showed up that day was Amari Cooper. Thank God we got to see Amari actually show up and play a good game. Everybody else, you might as well just drop a grenade on the field. Defense did what they could, but Martin Emerson, not so much. The Browns should have listened to you, Bri, and said, hey, Denzel, why don't you follow the one guy that they drafted at number 5 or 6 overall and stay on his ass the entire game? But nope, they can't do that. They're too proud for that.
I think he did the second half, but it was just too little too late.
You think after
the first, had 2 touchdowns at that
after
point.
The first 2 damn touchdowns? Are you serious?
Yeah, it shouldn't take till halftime to make that adjustment.
Bri, give me your reactions of this game. Let it out, buddy. Vent out, and I'll give mine after you're done.
All right. I need some clarification first because so what happened we went to a friend's house to watch the first half and BSing around the smoker. I got into the game 11 seconds late, and we're already up 7. What happened? Did they fumble the kickoff return?
I believe so because I kind of did the same thing. I was a little bit late too, and I saw 7.
What good are you then? Yeah, I looked on my phone and I saw, Amari got a 24-yard passing touchdown. Cool, but how do we get the ball? Then I thought, did we get a long kickoff return down to their 24-yard line or something?
I don't know if it was a fumble on the kickoff or if it was a fumble or interception on the next play. That's what I'm sorry,
Okay.
Brian. I wish I could tell
No,
you.
that's all right.
I thought
I wasn't expecting to miss a score coming in at 107, and I'm like, we're already up. First, I thought it was kickoff return for a touchdown, but and then looking back, and so that pass to Mari Cooper, I think that was our only play. That was our first play, touchdown, 24 yards. The rest of the first half, we had 22 yards, which. I mean that goes to show you, what we were in for that afternoon. It's just, I don't know, man. It's hard. It's frustrating because it seems like, and maybe this is just recency biased, but whenever we're supposed to win and everybody picks us to win, we don't show up. I think I hate to keep going back to the Texans playoff game. Everyone was picking you to win that game. It was hard to find. I remember. People on the radio scouring, let's find somebody who's going to pick the Texans, who thinks the Texans are going to win. And they're coming up with like all these names that you never heard of. And like everyone is picking the Browns this week. Everyone's picking the Browns. They're 6.5-point favorites. And we like maybe the worst thing that could happen to us was us getting a 7-0 lead 11 seconds into the game because we're like, all right, we're good. We're going to listen. Danny Dimes is terrible, like all the national pundits tell us, and he doesn't have a chance. And no, I know you're picked to win. Everyone's picking you to win. But when the other team has a capable quarterback, you can't just lay down and be like, all right, we got this one. CJ Stroud is a capable quarterback. Just because everyone's picking you to win doesn't mean you can just fall asleep. He's going to beat you. He did beat you. Daniel Jones is a capable quarterback. As much as people don't want to say, he is capable. He's not Clayton Tune or who else did we beat last year? Trevor Siemian. The Jaguars that were a dumpster fire then continue to be a dumpster fire. He's a guy that he can beat you, and he did. And he kind of torched our defense. Not to be too over dramatic about it, but nobody thought that he was going to put up those touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the manner that he did it. I think 13 play drives, 80 yards. Like he is taking his team down the field and just cramming it down your throat and getting first down after first down after first down. And then, yeah, I mean, I remember saying before the second Neighbors touchdown, there's one guy you have to cover. Find that guy and cover him, and they didn't. And it's like we talked about it last week. He's the one guy that you have to account for, and the Browns just thought, if he gets a couple catches here and there, no big deal. He's not going to kill us or anything like that. We're good enough to overcome that, and you weren't. So I think it's a total team failure. I'm sure we'll get into the offense and just how pathetic they looked. But yeah, it's kind of what we thought. And the Browns coaches are a ton more smart than we are. As I use smarter. We talked last week. Malik Neighbors and their defensive line are the 2 things that will kill you if you don't account for them. And guess what? We didn't account for them. They killed us, and we took an L. So I don't know. It seems simple sometimes, but our offensive line is just in absolute shambles right now. So maybe us having backups, guys that really need to try and play their hearts out, maybe that'll be a good thing. I don't know. But, yeah, that's what I got through the first segment here. Turn it back over to you. There's plenty else.
Bri, I told you at the beginning of the season, my number one concern was this offensive line because we were getting older. Now you got Wyatt Teller, who is going to miss multiple weeks now because of an injury. You had both your tackles, Hudson and Wills, go out. You have Batonio switch over to left tackle. You have Posick switch to left guard. Hold on, we're not done yet. You had Harris come in at center, and then you had your rookie start at right guard.
Can I just get some clarification? So, again, not paying super close attention to. So, James Hudson started at left tackle?
No, Wills went in and started at left tackle, I believe.
And Hudson started at right tackle?
and Hudson started right tackle, got hurt, and then DeJuan Jones came in for him.
And had to. Oh, jeez.
So I mean, that's where we're at right
It's
now.
hard keeping track of all this.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I saw
it's
Posick was left guard, and
Yeah.
you're right. It was just I couldn't believe it.
Brian, it wasn't good. You got out coached, you got out muscled, Brian, we're definitely going to have a conversation about spending a minute and a half dancing in the fucking end zone when there's a penalty flag behind you. Knock it off, guys. Like, seriously, I know that they preach these guys up to celebrate and just have fun and do all this stuff. Time and place. Like, there's not one person that looked behind. They're all in the end zone. Not one person went, oh, shit, there's a flag. Is that on us? Nope. Guys, let's choreograph this thing. Like, they've been planning it for 3 fucking weeks, Bri. Like, ew, oh. But, Bri, that wasn't even the worst part. New York Giants defense came out. What did you do last week? You went a little heavy. You ran the ball more. You did all this stuff. What did we do this week, Bri? We went back to the same damn game plan we did in week 1, saying, here, let's play in the shotgun, and let's try to finesse this. And you know what they did? Bri, they blitzed on first and second down. Every freaking down they blitzed. Your quarterback got sacked 8 times. There is, Bri, 11 people got half sacks throughout this game. 11 people got a sack out of this game, Bri. 11 people. All right. So 1, it's not all your offensive line. Yes, your offensive line has a lot to do with it. 2, Watson was lost again. He made a couple of nice passes in the first half. And then after that, Bri, he was running scared like a ghost. You have wide receivers dropping passes that they should not drop. And Bri, dare I say, the New York Giants showed you what a true number 1 wide receiver is and why we cannot draft one. Malik Neighbors just went out and owned you. And not a little bit owned you and laughed at you while he did it. And he was the only one on that team that gave you any part of a threat, and you could not stop him. That is what an elite number 1 talent looks like. And Bri, dare I say, I love Amari Cooper. We don't have that elite number 1 talent on our team. We have a bunch of 2s and 3s. And it hurts my feelings. And Bri, we had like 20 yards rushing. We didn't even run the ball at all. Like, it's like a whole different game. Like, week to week, the game plan changes. And it's like, why? It worked last week. It's what you had to do to win a game. You have to win the game. Why are you going back to this stupid shit right now? And Bri, I'm being dead serious. I think it's all the coaches. I think it's all on the coaches right now. Yes, there are people that are messing up, but you have got to stop this nonsense of thinking that you're better and smarter than the people in the room. And guess what? You got owned by the New York Giants in your stadium. And it wasn't like a little bit owned, Bri. Like, yeah, they kept it close in the fourth quarter and we got a 2-point conversion, all that stuff. Bri, they owned you all the first half. First half, it was all theirs. Like, there was no turning back. They did whatever the hell they wanted to. And you were just able to piece it together a little bit in the second half to muster a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, there's just when you look at the offensive side of the ball, and we'll get the defense maybe in a little bit, but offensively, there's just so much blame to go around, and I don't think there's anybody that's without blame, to be honest. The offensive line, terrible. Yeah, like you said, wide receivers, we think we have good ones. You know, Amari Cooper's pretty good. I agree he is pretty good, but other than that, Jerry Judy's kind of, we get excited about 60 yards and a touchdown, and we're like, all right, yeah, throw a party. But like our and you know, I'm not going to, yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to kind of like, okay, you know how, and I'm not trying to mean this as sexist or anything else, but you always have like the people that go, hey, she is a New York 7, but she's at a Cleveland 10. You know, you always have those guys that sit there and judge women like that. But, like, that's what it is. Like, Malik Neighbors is an elite wide receiver, and we got 6s, 7s, and 5s across our board right now.
Yeah, I just offensively, and I mean, you have to bring it up. Nobody wants to just blame it on injuries, but I'll say it again. We're missing a all-pro running back. We're missing a Pro Bowl tight end. We're missing a couple really good offensive linemen. So, you can't just last year.
But other people deal with that, though, Bri. The Bills
Other people
lost
do.
But why
right?
can't we? Why can't we?
'Cause
Kansas City loses their star running back, and yet it still keeps running. Buffalo gets rid of all their star wide receivers, and yet it keeps running. But for us, it doesn't keep running, Bri. It just stalls, backfires,
Well, they have elite quarterbacks that overcome everything, and they have good. Kansas City's interior offensive line, every single one of them is a Pro Bowler. After that shellacking that they took in the Super Bowl by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they started getting real serious about getting the interior offensive line working, and so they did. They signed Joe Thuney, which was already a Pro Bowler. And then, by the grace of God, they had Creed Humphrey fall to them in the second round. He's a Pro Bowler. And then they had Trey Smith, who I said the Browns should have gotten rounds 2, 3, 4. He ended up going in round 5 to them. And, by the way, he's a Pro Bowler now. So, their interior offensive line is unbelievable. The best in the game. Puts the Browns to shame. But, yeah, their offensive lines work as a unit. And then, outside of that, you just put guys that can be in the right spot and do the right thing around them, and guys that they can count on. These quarterbacks make plays, and Deshaun Watson is far from there. As much as optimism as I want to have about him, he's for sure a part of the blame. You got to be able to beat the blitz. Teams are just gonna blitz the crap out of you. So you got to have a plan.
Read a defense, Bri. It's like you
Right,
couldn't
that's what
even
I'm
read
saying.
it and call a hot route or just any kind of other audible to get out of that. He could not read it.
Yep. So blame Deshaun for sure. Blame the coaches for sure. They got to get it right. The offensive line. Like I said, maybe having guys it sounded like Nick Harris played pretty well.
He did. He did.
Zinter is only going to get better.
Well, he has,
who knows? Maybe
Bri, he has to. There's nobody else coming in at right guard now.
Well, I think we have 5 healthy linemen and then a bunch of no-namers. And we don't have the Bill Callahan cushion to fall back on like everybody already knows. A Jerron Christian that we can pluck off the streets, have Callahan sprinkle his magic dust on him, and then he's good to go for the home stretch of the season. No, we don't have that. And so it's going to be, man, it scares the crap out of me because we were so spoiled. We've been so spoiled over the years. Your offense literally starts with your offensive line. I don't care if you have Justin Jefferson, if you have Patrick Mahomes, if you have Travis Kelce. None of these guys matter if your offensive line is just garbage. So it has to start with the offensive line. That gets the run game going. That gets the quarterback more comfortable. Otherwise, they're just going to blitz the crap out of you, and we're going to see this week in and week out. But yeah, like you said, we got away from the run game. The run game wasn't great.
Bri, there was no run game.
Right.
That wasn't. We didn't get away from it. It wasn't there.
I had 12 rushes. Other than I took the Deshaun scrambles out of there. Other than Deshaun scrambles, we had 12 rushes for 46 yards. So very average. That's not even 4 yards a carry. But they gave up. But Jerome Ford's average, maybe a little below average. Devontae Foreman, average, a little below average. We don't have Nick Chubb. Now, Nick Chubb's not going to fix everything. If this offensive line continues to play this way, Nick Chubb is not. He might bust a couple runs, but it's going to be a lot of -1, -2, gain of 1, gain of 2. It's going to be a lot of that. And then he might bust 1 or 2. But, you just don't know. Is this the system? Is this the fact that we just don't have a whole lot of talent on offense? I think it's probably a little bit of both. But, I don't know. Yeah, we have a couple winnable games, maybe not as winnable as they looked at the start of the season.
Not even close now.
But I still think, I don't think it's a coincidence that again, we struggled at home. I think Deshaun Watson's going to be more comfortable on the road. It's just the reality of the situation. I heard there's Baker chants going out there because people are pissed off. People want to live from 4 years ago or whenever Baker was here. And
it was Jameis' chance too, brother. It wasn't just
well,
Baker.
I'm sure it's Baker. I'm sure it's Jameis. I'm sure it's Flacco. I'm sure it's anybody who's donned the brown and orange in the last 10 years, people are going to chant for. But yeah, it's something he has to deal with at home. He's not going to have to deal with on the road. So I think he's going to feel more comfortable. You know, do the fans want the Browns to win, or do the fans want to push their narrative and shove this guy on the ground? I'm sure there's a little bit of both going on, but yeah, I think right now the state our offense is in, I think we're better off on the road. So thankfully, we have 3 road games coming up, and hopefully, we have 3 good performances. But yeah, again, it goes back to the coaches. It goes back. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all on the players, because you said they're doing their little jig in the end zone because they think they're about to go up 14-0. And at that point, it's just a big party, and it's just big, you know, hey, pat each other on the butt, great job, great win, and you forget that you got to finish the game out. And it just it's so frustrating as a fan watching this. I watched it with Michigan, their first game against Fresno State. It's just a big party. Like, oh, we got this. It's just let's just have fun. Like, you need to focus for 3 hours a week on your job, 100% focus. I understand it's going to be fun. You're going to get caught up in the moment. Play for 60 minutes. That's all I'm asking you, you know. But maybe it's human nature. Maybe it's coaching. But they lose focus. They have one glimmer of success, and they just lose focus. Everyone's picking us. You know, they're reading their press clippings already. The defense is, you know, to talk about the defense a little bit, they're not elite. They're not great. They're pretty good. Go look at Pittsburgh. If we have Pittsburgh's defense, we'd probably be 3-0. As bad as our offense has looked, if we have Pittsburgh's defense, we would be 3-0. And so that should be a gut punch for them, because you're not in their league right now. I know they're not playing the level of competition that you are, that they didn't play back. They're playing some pretty crappy teams, but they're winning games for that team. Then Justin Fields just has to go out there and not lose the games for them, and he's doing that. So I think Deshaun Watson could do that as well. I know he's 230. Nobody wants to talk about that, but if we had the right game plan and we had that defense and that focus, you know, only giving up 7-10 points a game at most, yeah, we'd be 3-0 for sure.
God, that had to hurt like razor blades coming out of your mouth, didn't it?
It did. Oh, absolutely. Oh, because I really don't believe Pittsburgh is that good. You know, they beat teams that are better than the Giants. They beat the Falcons. The Falcons are better than the Giants. Yeah, they got lucky this past week because they only had to play Justin Herbert for a half. So who knows where that would have went? They got Easton Stick for a half. But yeah, I mean, it's not like Justin Herbert was torching them or anything like that. So yeah, their defense is going to keep them in every game. And I wish I could say the same thing about the Browns. I mean, I don't think the Browns defense is terrible or anything like that. They're good. You know, are they top 10? Probably borderline at this point. So, and unfortunately, you know, if you want to get into the really harsh stuff now with the injuries, it's going to be, you know, I don't know. Kind of last year, we talked about Myles Garrett's shoulder for half the year. Like, well, Myles isn't right. He's got that shoulder. Like, are we going to be the same for the rest of this year? He's got these feet issue. I think it's both feet or maybe just one foot.
Not just feet. There's been speculation of other things happening with Myles, so it's not just feet. There's some other things going on with Myles that hasn't come out yet, and I don't know why. Physically. But it is his feet, though. He got his MRI on his feet. His feet are fine, doctors say. But, like, Brian, when you are being carted out to the car, not a good sign. When you're being helped walk off the field because your feet hurt that bad, not a good sign, buddy. It's really not a good sign. And the other thing is, Brian, as you were sitting there talking about the offense and, you know, Watson, if Watson had a defense like this and Watson, Brian, right now what we've got is below average play from Deshaun Watson. Now, everybody expects him to be, because of the money, everybody expects him to be elite of the elite. Brian, for me personally, that ship has sailed. I think that we will get a good Deshaun Watson. I don't think he'll ever be elite again. Ever. He cannot read a defense. I think he is a game manager right now. I think he is just going to be okay. And that's fine. That's fine. We could win with that, Bri. But it hurts as a fan that you gave up so much for just another guy. And I think that's where people are getting upset because you did give up a lot for just another guy. I swear, Bri, if he becomes elite and I look horrible at this, then that's fine. But right now, what I've seen in Deshaun Watson from the 3 years he's been here, Bri, he has been just another guy. He has been okay. Yeah, everybody shows flashes. Shit, I can show flashes too if I want to, but it's the consistency, and the consistency is not there. And when you cannot read that the defense is going to blitz you and you need to change the play, that is a huge issue, Bri. That's not even like a little bit of issue. Quarterback needs to read the defense, and he cannot read it right now. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts or what's going on there, but then you say we don't have an all-pro running back. Bri, we don't even know what we're getting back with Nick Chubb off of this injury. We don't know if he's going to be an all-pro running back. He might be 60% of his former self. So, Bri, what scares the shit out of me is you and I had such high expectations for this team. We had 11 wins. We had playoffs. We had AFC championships. Bri, the way this team is looking right now, dare I say they win 6 damn games? Like, this is where we're at, Bri, after 3.
So if I give you a redo, how many games do you see them winning?
Right now, this team right now, as is, right now, after what I saw the first
no,
3
and
games.
I mean, you have to project forward. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm not saying they're going to play this bad the whole. If you think they're going to play this bad the whole year, then yeah, that's your prediction. Right. But what do you think,
Bri? After watching these first 3 games, right now, I'm switching it. I'm giving them 7 wins.
Okay. No, that's fine. I mean,
7 or 8. Like I'm not. But the thing is, Bri, there's no offense. There's no offense whatsoever. There's no run game. There is no semblance of a pass game. Like, people are calling out your passing game right now, calling it a freaking joke. You're averaging like 4 yards a pass right now, Bri. Like, that's bad. That's bad.
Yep. No, I mean, everything you said is right. I'm not going to try to like tell you that it's looking good, and but I will hold out faith because it's 3 weeks. There have been a lot of crazy things happening in the NFL. I heard a stat today. This blows my mind. So, not to get too nerdy about it, but Jaden Daniels last night scored on every. Did you hear this stat? Scored on every possession, and the game before against the Giants, he scored on every possession other than like kneel downs. They just they kicked a ton of field goals. So he's done the last 2 games out of his 3 games. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Patrick Mahomes combined for their entire careers to do that twice, and he's done it twice in 3 games. So and look how bad the Bengals are. You know, the Ravens. You know, it's crazy time. So. I mean, the fact that the Browns, yes, haven't looked good. I agree. The Browns have not looked good, but I have to have faith that now the injuries will derail your season. If we don't get healthy, the injuries will derail your season. And you're right. We're going to win 6-7 games if we have a terrible, completely beat up offensive line. If Myles Garrett is a complete shell of himself, if Nick Chubb comes back and he's not much of anything. Dayton Njoku's constantly in and out of the lineup. Yeah, it's how it is in sports. When your best players get hurt and can't play, yeah, you're going to suck, and it's going to be frustrating to watch it. So I'm not telling anybody anything new there, but if we get healthy, which we have not been healthy, not even close to healthy through 3 games this year, if we get healthy, then I'll have a better grasp on what this team really is. But yeah, you're right. Through 3 games, it's brutal to watch. And the fact that we can't pick up a simple blitz or beat up a simple blitz, and yeah, it is Deshaun Watson, and I blame a lot on him. I don't blame it all on him. Where are these rollouts that we used to see all the time in and time out with Baker? Baker used to roll out all the time, and he would get going. That I remember we had conversations where Baker's a very momentum player. You have to get him going because You have to give him some easy throws at first, get him rolling out of the pocket so he can maybe make an easy throw or scramble or whatever, just to get him comfortable and confident. And I haven't seen any of that with Deshaun. So it worries me a lot that Kevin Stefanski and Ken Dorsey have like this hybrid offense almost. Like it's Dorsey's offense, but Stefanski's calling the plays. Like how is this make sense to anybody?
Dorsey's offense week 1 and Dorsey's offense week 3. Stefanski's offense week 2. That's exactly what it was, Bri. If you look at it,
I have no idea. Yeah.
But that's how the Browns won. Is Stefanski's offense that bring in the big guy, we're going to run it, we're going to do play action, we're going to do this, and then next thing you know, they're in shotgun, running the ball 3 times in the first half, and then that's it. It's like, this is not how this works. We are a running team to set up the throw. And the other thing, and Brian, before we get our players of the week, if you have any players of the week, before we get to the players of the week, Brian, I heard Nick Wilson today as I was going to get the kids from school. I want you to think about this, all right? Stefanski's been here 5 years, correct?
Okay.
Correct.
The math. I'll take your word for it.
That's somewhere around there, okay? So the first year, we had a problem. It was the defense. We had to fire that defensive coordinator, bring in a different defensive coordinator. Second one, oh, no, it's quarterback. Can't do well with this quarterback. We got to get a different quarterback. Next thing, it's offensive coordinator. Alex Van Pelt's not good enough. We got to get a different offensive coordinator. Every year for this Browns team has been an excuse of why the team has only done so much. And they have made changes every year on this staff and changes to the roster every year. Now, Bri, I like Andrew Berry, but this kind of falls on Andrew Berry right now and Stefanski of every year you're making changes that don't need to be. Alex Van Pelt didn't need to go. We were fine. But hey, we need to bring in somebody that's a mobile quarterback that needs to take care of Deshaun Watson. Go ahead, bud.
Let me just stop because I don't remember. Did we fire Van Pelt, or was it like a mutual splitting that he wanted to go call plays, and I believe he went to New England?
They let go of Van Pelt. That's the only way, Brian. It's not a mutual split. If you're leaving a team, it's either you let go or you quit. And it sounded like the Browns let him go so they could bring in Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, I don't remember the semantics of it because I would assume that your offensive coordinator is going to eventually want to call plays and view that. No,
and I get that.
And he was never calling plays here. That wasn't an option for him. So
but then Ken Dorsey comes and he's not calling plays. So what's the difference?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember the particulars behind that. But yeah, it's just it's something we've been talking about. I'm surprised, honestly. We haven't heard a whole lot about it this year, about Stefanski giving up play calling, because it seems like whenever the offense struggles, maybe just the Deshaun hate is so loud that we don't hear but even reporters and stuff like that, nobody's really asking hey, have you considered passing play calling off to Ken Dorsey?
I got to look at the tape, but the thing is I think the plays are there. I just think it's misread. Whether the blitz was not picked up right or you're not looking at the wide receiver that's wide open. There's one, and Brian, you don't know this guy. He is on Twitter. I'm not even going to put his name out because he is a super fan of Deshaun Watson, and that's completely fine. But somebody pointed out that on a 3rd and 15, there was the dump off option at your running back that would have got you 15 yards. But the guy said, well, it's 3rd and 15. Why would he be looking there? Because that's your out valve. That's your out valve when everything's covered downfield that you can at least get, instead of 15 yards, you might get 12 and go for it on 4th and 3. He's not even seeing the check downs right now, Bri.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, again, it goes to my theory that he has rabbit ears when he plays in that stadium. He's trying to be Superman. He's trying to win you. He's trying to score 40 points. He's trying to do what Joe Flacco, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's looking to make the big play every time rather than taking like you said in this case scenario, hey, here's an easy 10, maybe you get 12, maybe you get 15. He's looking for the big play because he doesn't want to hear the Baker chants or whatever.
You got to take what's in
I
front
don't
of
know.
you, though.
Well, and also we talked about them not having many rollouts, like screen passes to the running back.
Oh, I know.
Like I haven't seen many of those. Like, there's got to be people a lot smarter than us have to know what an ultra. This was when we played, and maybe they were just caught off guard because it didn't sound like the Giants did a whole lot of blitzing through the first couple games. So maybe they just were completely not prepared for this. But what do you do against a very ultra aggressive defense that's just coming at you time after time after time again? Well, guess what? We saw it last. Yeah, we saw it last year against Texans in the playoff game. What did they do against us? Just copy and paste
draw play.
that game plan. Yeah, bootlegs out get misdirections, get the whole defense go in one direction and then go out the other way. They ran a clinic on us in that playoff game. So yeah, we want to blame the players, but I think for sure the coaches need to have just as much blame because it was just. And I mean, we talk about all this, and we had a couple opportunities, maybe 2 or 3 opportunities to go down and win the game.
We did, and
a Jerome Ford fumble, which inexcusable.
Hold on, was that a Jerome Ford? Hold on, was that a Jerome?
Yes.
Are you sure, Bri?
Yeah, I understand. It wasn't a perfect handoff. It's right here. It's not like he put it in your face mask or anything like that. I mean,
it looked like he put it right on top of the shoulder pad. I'm not going to lie.
If you want to kill Deshaun for it, you can go ahead and kill Deshaun for it. I'm sure there's plenty of people on Twitter or Instagram.
No, I'm just, hey,
Bri,
I know that they've done that exchange how many times throughout training camp? Thousands of times.
Right.
And that's the one time it happens.
What can you do? Is it the pressure getting to you? Is it the pressure of the big moment? I have no idea. I can't explain. Is it just the Browns are cursed and that's just what it is? I don't know. And then him putting a dot right between the 1 and the 9 to Cedric Tillman and Cedric Tillman dropping it. And that's why when everyone's talking the Cedric Tillman hype in preseason, I'm like, I'm not buying it. I got to see it first. He has been a absolute non-factor. I like him. I like Cedric Tillman. I want him to be productive, but he has been an absolute non-factor for us. Another wasted Andrew Berry draft pick. I think Zach Zinner is the only draft pick from this past year that even dresses for us.
I think there's 2. I can't remember who it is. There's another one, so there's 2.
Maybe a 7th rounder special teams guy.
It might be, but yeah.
So everyone wants to kill us for not having draft picks because of the Deshaun deal. There's no guarantee that Andrew Berry is, because he got lucky that Grant Delpit fell 20 spots further than he should have, and that JOK fell 15 spots further than he should have, and he was just smart enough to pick those guys. I mean, and DeJuan Jones, we thought, oh, what a great pick DeJuan Jones was by Andrew Berry. Maybe that was Bill Callahan getting 130% out of DeJuan Jones. And now we're seeing what DeJuan Jones really is. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I know he's dealing with a knee injury as well. But yeah, eventually it's gonna come back to the coaches and the front office when this team, the Deshaun Watson hate can go on for so long, but eventually I think we're going to start looking at, okay, other than Deshaun Watson not being good enough, what else is wrong with this team? Because that's not going to be the only issues when you lose to a team that you should beat and that you're favored by a touchdown to beat.
That's 100% true, brother. 100% true. All right. Do you have any players of the week this week? I got Amari Cooper on offense. It was nice.
Of course, yeah. That's about the one bright spot on offense for sure.
Defensive wise, I would have to give it to probably JOK. JOK had a great. So did Denzel. Denzel had a really good game too.
That's my guy. Yep, I'm giving it to Denzel again. Broken record. I mean, we finally, Jim Schwartz. Thank you for doing what the entire NFL has done for 10 years now. You have a really good cornerback, stick them on the really good receiver so they can't just move them around and get them against MJ Emerson, which
I mean, that
is
seems,
just a
Brian, that
tough
seems
matchup
like
for
high
him.
school shit, though. That seems like
I
high
agree.
school shit where
I
you should
agree.
go, you're
Right.
the best
Our
receiver,
best player
you're the
versus your
best
best
corner.
player.
Let's go. And why do they
Right.
not do it? It's like, okay, well, you play half and I play the other side. Like, fuck that.
It's
Put him
either
on
it's either too complex for them to do, play in and play out, or it's arrogance. Like, yeah, Denzel's really good, but we also have two other really good cornerbacks, so we feel comfortable.
Well,
We'll play
right
them as
now,
well.
one's not looking so good right now. MJ Emerson
And the other
is not looking so hot.
busy smacking quarterbacks in the face and then dancing a sweet
And
jig.
that's, Brian, that's the other thing. Like, if it's a big moment, I don't mind if you celebrate if it's a big moment. If it's a 1st and 10 pass breakup, dude, stop the guitar dancing and all that other bullshit. Like, if it was a 3rd and 9 and it was a good pass breakup, that's fine. Like, I don't mind you celebrating and being you. That's fine. I don't need to see it every damn play. I don't need to see it on 1st down when it was just a slant route that you just bumped the guy and he dropped the ball. Here we go again. There's 6 people fucking dancing on the field. Like, come on. Really? Sorry. Had a fat boy rant there.
All right, you froze. You were going so fast, you froze on me there.
I'm sorry about that. Had a fat boy rant. I'm sorry, Bri.
No, yeah. I mean, we're going to talk a lot about the offense because they weren't good enough, but to me, the defense. If you want to be considered one of the best in the league, go look at Pittsburgh. And I hate saying that.
Oh God, that's gotta feel horrible. Ugh.
But they win games, and the Browns won some games for us last year. Again, it was against Clayton Tune and Trevor Siemian. Capable quarterbacks go out and win us game. Give up 9, 10 points, 11 points. Our offense can score 15. I think we've scored 15 in every single game this year. So the Steelers aren't scoring more than that, a whole lot more. They're scoring 16, 20, maybe at most, and they're winning games. So, yeah, as bad as the offense has been, the defense needs to shoulder some of the blame as well.
All right, Bri, let's close it out on the horrible game that was the Giants. Give me one big Bri take for the game coming up against Las Vegas, Bri. One big Bri take.
Boy, it's going to be an absolute battle. Because who would have thought we'd be saying that about the Raiders game? The Browns need it like blood. The Raiders need it like blood to drop to 1-3. The Browns have higher expectations than the Raiders, but what scares the crap out of me is the Raiders just got absolutely embarrassed by Andy Dalton and the winless previous joke of a franchise, Carolina Panthers. They got embarrassed, I believe, on their own field. So they're going to come out there, going to get so much about, as we saw this past weekend, so much about the NFL is about your effort for that week and how much motivation you have because of the past week that you went through. I mean, just look at all these upsets that we saw. Everyone was so high on Tampa Bay. They got embarrassed by what we thought was the worst team in the league, Denver Broncos. Everyone thought Minnesota Vikings were an absolute joke, and they're starting out 3-0. They just embarrassed the Houston Texans, who people thought were a top 5 team. Like, it's so much about the Rams and the 49er game. The 49ers got up big, and they thought they won the game, and the Rams just kind of kept plugging away. So these upsets happen every single week. You have to remain so focused through the whole week and through your game plan. And so, yeah, the thing that scares me the most is just the state of the Raiders right now. Their coach is calling out players. They made a quarterback change at the end of the game. I think Gardner Minshew is still going to come back and play this week, and he lit you up last year. They put up 30-some points against you when he was in Indy, and the defense is just being called out, and Max Crosby is still one of the best pass rushers. Again, another week where we go against a really good pass rusher. So they're at home now. I think it's going to be a lot of Browns fans there, but yeah, they're going to be pissed off. They're going to be so ready for this game. they're going to be so tired of their coach just tearing them down all week long. So we're going to need to bring our A game. I wish we were going into a game where they just blew out the Panthers and they were flying high, riding high. Everything was all good. They were 2-1. No, they're 1-2, staring 1-3 in the face. So they're going to give you their all. So we need to be absolutely ready. I pray we are healthy. And this game scares me a bit.
All right, Bri, let's get our picks of the week. Bri, I will go first. The point spread is +1, I believe, for the Browns.
For the Browns? Okay, so we're underdogs?
No, yeah, I think we're just 1 point underdogs or 1 point favorites. I can't remember which one. Okay. All right, so Bri, I am going to, right now, in the state of everything that's going on, we still are question marks on the offensive line. And Bri, I hate to do this. I know I lost last week with my prediction.
You are 0-3.
Am I 0-3?
I think so. You picked did you pick for the Browns in week 1, against them in week 2, and for them in week 3?
Yeah, might as well just keep this streak going. So let me pick the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to pick the Raiders to win. Bri?
Okay.
27-14.
Wow. Not even close. Okay. Well, I probably was leaning towards the Raiders, but after hearing your pick, I can't go against the Browns.
Why? You're already up 3-0.
No, I'm 2-1, I think. No, I'm 1-2. Yeah, I'm I'm 2-1 against the spread. I'm 2-1 against the spread because I didn't have them covering last week. So yeah, don't follow us. Hey,
for your betting.
the Brown. It's frustrating because we are so terrible when we're a big favorite, but we're so good as an underdog. And I think about San Francisco last year. Nobody gave us a shot in the world, and we came out. Now, I don't think people are going to give you a chance. It's not like the Raiders are these gangbusters that are just going to come in and blow you out or anything like that. But man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a bloodbath. Boy, I feel like our defense is going to be up for the challenge, knowing what Gardner Minshew did to us last year. I think our offense, I think my narrative is our offense plays better on the road, so I'm going to continue with that. So, give me the Browns 23. Give me the Vegas Raiders 16.
All right. 23-16. All right. So, Bri, it is time for our illegal hand of the face fantasy football update. And this week you had Team Big Rod beat Runner. Oh my God, Runner is 0-3 right now. 147-96. The Portage County Prostitutes beat Joe Bear Always Next Year 119-107. Honky Cat beat Phil McCracken. Oh boy, Big Bri. Champ is here, is not doing so good. 114-89. Big Bri just laying that smackdown on Harold. 163-122. And I wish Cleveland had a QB. Beat the Dog Pound 110-104. Right now, there are two teams undefeated in the illegal Ham to the Face Fantasy Football League. Team Big Rod and Portage County Prostitutes are 3-0 with a cluster of 5 at 2-1. So there is your legal Ham to the Face Fantasy Football update. All right, Bri, let's kick it old school. We'll make this one really quick because I know that we are way over, and I love when we get passionate about the Browns. But, Bri, hey, you haven't heard this in a while.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
And it is
and
time.
Now it's time for...
It keeps playing. It is time for Fat Boy Tuesday, Bri. We are we are talking buffets tonight, and nothing goes along with Vegas and buffets. So, Bri, what are some of the things that you are looking for when you go to a buffet?
Boy, it's hard for me to even say until I see it. Now I haven't, I'm not big buffet guy. I am big buffet guy, but I know I'm going to feel like crap. I know I'm going to be on the toilet. I know I'm going to be sleeping. it's just going to ruin my entire rest of my day. So I try to stay away from it. But my strategy is go up with the first plate and get a little bit of everything. I might even make the first plate a salad just to kind of trick myself that I'm eating healthy.
Get that first layer where you make yourself feel good because you ate something
right.
healthy.
Yeah, look at me. I'm getting a salad. Yeah, so sometimes I'll do that. But then eventually it's going up there and just getting a little bit of everything. And then the second or third plate is going up there and getting the 2 or 3 things that were really good. Then I might go a fourth plate if it's something I really enjoyed. And then of course you got to get the dessert after the end. So,
yeah, you got to get.
So yeah, so I'm going 4 or 5 plates probably. But it's just a smorgasbord of every. I'm not really huge, and a lot of people are with like home cooking. What I mean by that is mashed potatoes, fried chicken.
So like an Amish buffet, you're not down for?
Yeah, I'm not really. I'll get a taco if they got some sweet and sour chicken. I'll get that. If it's good looking pizza, I'll get that. I get nachos.
Chinese buffet. Buffet?
Absolutely Chinese. My wife and I were just talking about that. I haven't been to a Chinese buffet in several years
since we did it at work.
When did we do it? Yeah. On the Mayfield Road.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. It was probably since then. So good though. I mean, and I just go for the same thing almost every time. Basically, fried chicken, little chunks of fried chicken, rice, and then whatever sauce you feel like putting. General Tso's, sweet and sour, orange chicken, honey chicken, whatever. I mean, it's all basically the same thing.
Now, for me, when I go to a buffet, Bri, I go to find the items that I normally don't get because either A, they're too expensive, or B, they're hard to find. So like shrimp, crab legs, steak, I will find that. I will sniff that out like a bloodhound and find that and go with that first. Dude, when I went to the buffet in Vegas that we went to, Bri, I am not going to lie. They had a half a New York strip steak, cooked perfect, however you wanted it. You got that. And then the shrimp cocktail on the other side was just fantastic. And that was my lane right there, was shrimp cocktail and steak. Shrimp cocktail and steak. Now, I'm kind of like you. I'm not a huge fan of like the comfort food buffets. Like, they're okay. Like, I'll eat it. I'm not saying I won't.
Sure. Right.
Now, Chinese buffet, you might as well just clear a path because I'm kind of trying everything. Even those little Jell-O stickers on the back that they have, the little Jell-O squares that they call desserts, I'll even eat that thing. Like, Chinese buffet is like one of my favorite buffets because I love Chinese food to begin with, but at least with this, you get a little bit of everything when it's with Chinese. You just don't get sweet and sour chicken. You get sweet and sour chicken, pepper steak, anything else you want on your plate, and it's not just one thing that you normally order from China. Because all of it I love, so that just gets me excited when I go to Chinese buffet. And like, hey, remember Joe with the shrimp and just eating them out of shrimp and telling him to go get more shrimp because that's all he ate there. So, but I mean, that's kind of one of my favorite things at the buffet. But yeah, I always look for like the high ticket items that I normally don't get that often because they're just too expensive, like crab legs, lobster tail, that kind of stuff. But you can't find buffets with that much anymore. But if they do have it, you got to go for it.
Yeah, that's where you kind of lose me. And just me. Yeah, I don't have expensive taste.
You're simple.
I'm not going to get the prime rib. I'm not going to get the steak. I'm not going to get the sushi. I'm not going to get the crab legs. So like $50 buffets, probably. I'll eat a bunch, but I'll probably only end up eating like $12 in food. Something like that.
Brian, I love you. I know where I'm at with you because if we hit up like a East of Chicago or Pizza Hut buffet,
smash it.
I know we're going to be there in a minute. And you'll be like, hold on, they're bringing out another one.
What's that? Chicken bacon ranch pizza? I'll wait.
I'll wait. Oh, is that a cinnamon pizza? Oh, okay. I'll wait. Hey, we've all been there, buddy.
But when you talk about Las Vegas buffets, I think of Vegas vacation. I've never been to Vegas, so I don't really know
Oh,
what
Brian,
all
we
they
have to
entail. But
go.
I think of Vegas vacation where he's just slopping stuff on plates and what he has like a blue thing and a yellow thing, and then they switch it and like just looks like garbage. So I'm sure they've come a long way since then. But,
Right. We're definitely going to have to go because they stepped up their game. There's like little different sections with chefs actually cooking the food for you. So
that'd
you
be
walk
good.
up and be like, hey, I want a steak. They're like, all right, well, what do you want? You want medium, medium rare? And they already have it ready for you right there. Like, here's a medium rare, put it on your plate, you go to the next side. So it's almost like instead of buffet, it's like cafeteria style, as a kid. You just walk in, start sliding your tray down, pick up your stuff as you go, and then you just walk back to your seat, sit down, and have a good time. I mean, I think our buffet that we ate at the dinner buffet, and it was, what is it, $21 for us to eat for the dinner buffet, but it had pretty much anything and everything you wanted, and you can't pass that up. And plus, unlimited drinks, so you go up to the drink fountain anytime you wanted to, unless you wanted alcoholic drinks, and then that kind of costs more. But we're definitely going to go to Vegas together.
I might even enjoy a breakfast buffet more than like
I
a
even
dinner
forgot
buffet.
about yes.
Because like I feel like
Sausage,
a breakfast buffet, everything's a possibility for me. Whereas dinner, I might only be getting like 50-60% of the stuff. Like breakfast buffet, I think of Eaton Park. We used to have one here in Medina. Shoney's.
Shoney's.
So good. Yeah, I used to love those.
I
It'd be
love
good
the
for the
whole
day.
Yeah, and everything's right. Brian, I'm not even going to lie. Like the little breakfast buffets they do at the Continental breakfast at some places with the scrambled eggs and the sausage links and bacon. Dude, that's sometimes killer.
Make your own omelet,
Damn right.
I'm all in for that. Biscuits
Damn
and
right.
gravy, everything.
Oh, biscuits and gravy. Man, I got to get me some biscuits and gravy. And Brian, I'm not going to lie. I got to get some good biscuits and gravy, not just regular. I got to get some good stuff. All right.
The only thing I might be out on is grits. I've never had grits. I hear they're pretty bland.
It all depends because you can actually add them up. It's almost like oatmeal. If you add like cinnamon and sugar to them, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, Brian.
Doesn't sound super appetizing, really. I'd just have oatmeal if I really wanted it that bad.
Yeah, I know, but in some places,
it's a southern thing. I get it.
We'll get there. And Sue, thank you so much for giving us the thumbs up. I appreciate you, Sue.
What's up, Sue?
I miss you, Mama. I am glad everything is going okay with you guys. Also, shout out Timmy Tubbs II, birthday today. So happy birthday to him.
Sweet.
All right,
happy birthday.
Brian, we have got to get into our top three and then finish our trivia. You want to finish the trivia or do you want to do the top three?
Yeah, I'll finish the trivia. Let's do it.
All right. So the trivia question brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland, where you can adopt this beautiful puppy that has been the longest resident at City Dogs Cleveland. His name is Bacardi. He is 2 years old and 51 pounds. Please go adopt him. Brian, I asked you, where do the Cleveland Browns rank in yards per game in 2024 after 3 games?
Dead last, 32 is my guess.
Well, I have good news for you. We're not dead last.
Sweet. 31?
We are 31.
Oh, brother. Who's worse?
New England Patriots.
Okay, they beat the Bengals, so we're ahead of them.
No, the Commanders beat the Bengals. Oh, yeah, the Patriots. Well, that was week 1. Anybody can beat the Bengals week 1. But, Brian,
actually, the Patriots haven't been bad. I mean, all right, sorry, go ahead.
No, right now, your defense is all in the middle of the pack, 13, 15, somewhere right there with your defense. Your offense right now, rushing, is ranked 29th. Passing is 28th. Total yards per game is 31st. It is not looking good. Bri, bonus bet. Can you tell me the second leading rusher for your Cleveland Browns?
I don't think Deshaun. No?
Your leading rusher with 131 yards is Jerome Ford. Right behind him is Deshaun Watson with 86 yards rushing. Brian, it's not good. Not good.
It's all right.
All right. Well, let's do our top 3 and then we will get out of here, Bri. Let me find that sounder real quick. Holy cow, I scrolled down too far. There it is. So, Bri, for your top 3 underrated sitcoms, it doesn't matter if it's comedy, drama, just our favorites, underrated.
Sitcom is comedy, situation comedy.
I thought, okay, I got you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, some sitcoms have comedy. But I mean, like sitcoms. I mean,
Okay.
so my top 3 sitcoms were The Office, King of Queens, Seinfeld. Those are all like staples. So like
Yeah.
I'm talking like under the radar ones that you might not think of. That are good that you end up watching a lot of reruns for. So if you want me to go first, I'll go first. You go first. I don't care.
I'll go first. Number 3 for me, Brian. This takes it back a little bit of ways. Mama's Family. You ever watch Mama's Family?
I don't think so. What's Mama's Family?
Underrated comedy gold right there. It was back in probably the 80s, 90s. I used to watch with my grandmother all the time. I love it.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm being dead serious. You'll love it. Number 2 for me, Alf. Alf was always underrated.
Good one.
Love Alf. And Brian, my number 1, and it's sort of recent, not super recent. My Name is Earl is my number 1 underrated sitcom.
Okay. Nice. Good list. Yeah, all underrated for sure. Yeah, right in that wheelhouse. I got none of those 3, but definitely Alf was maybe a little before my time. I guess the Mama Family might have been too.
Yeah,
but My Name is Earl. Definitely
Alf was
moments.
amazing. Alf was amazing. Right? You can watch it now on I think Netflix.
Oh, is that right? Okay,
I think it's one of them. But yeah.
My number 3, I had to show a little Cleveland love here. Drew Carey Show. Number 3.
Oh, that's a great one.
Haven't really seen it a whole lot. They don't show reruns on TV a whole lot. So I think you probably have to seek it out on one of the streaming platforms, maybe YouTube or something like that. Number 2 kind of got overshadowed a little bit by Always Sunny in Philadelphia, same network, The League.
I love that. That show
huge,
cracks me up.
Right, huge fantasy football fan. That show was it was really hot for 2 years, and then it just kind of died off for whatever reason. And I don't think there's a ton of seasons there, but I love The League. I don't even know if I've seen every episode of it, but
I think there's 6 seasons of The League, Bri.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. So many quotable moments from The League. So that's my number 2. And the number 1, I've gotten into more lately, probably the last 2 or 3 years. My wife and I just seem to stumble upon it randomly. And then I know it's on all hours of the morning because I'll wake up at 4:00 and I'll see, episode of Reba's on. So let me sit down and watch Reba. I knew you would enjoy Reba.
Yes.
It's entertaining. It's lighthearted. You don't have to think too much about it. And
it's so good.
It's just, you feel so good. It's just, I'm a big comedy fan. I mean, I don't need to watch movies or shows where people are dying of cancer or people are murdering each other. I want to feel good. I want to laugh. I want to smile when I'm watching TV. So, yeah, those are 3 good ones. Like I said, Drew Carey Show. I just don't get to see enough, but I remember that was a really good one. Yeah, I figured you liked the Reba call.
You made me so happy.
It's on all the time.
I love Reba.
And my wife and I would just be flipping through them there's not a whole lot on. Let's watch an episode of Reba. Here we go.
Justin showed up here with Blue Mountain State. There we go.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
And he said you can watch Alf for free on Sling TV.
There you go.
So there's other places you can watch it. Brian, you gotta. It's just nostalgic. I mean, Brian, even dare I say, Home Improvement was underrated, even though it was a huge hit. I loved Home Improvement as a kid. That was just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're here at the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the likes. Please go like and subscribe our channel on YouTube, on Network 216, on Facebook, on Twitter, all that. Just search at Ham Illegal. Brian, we're here at the end of the show. God bless him, brother.
Yep. God bless it. God bless America.
All right. We are definitely uncorked and unloaded, and we want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you guys do. And we will see you next Tuesday. Brian, dare I say, go Browns?
Why not? Go Browns. 425, I think, this week. Maybe 415. I don't know.
All right, 425. Go watch it. Go Browns. See ya.